This is Kenyatta with the Akomacast. So not the podcast, but the Akomacast. How you all doing? I haven't been online in a minute. I've been out putting in work. And sometimes when you out putting in work, I've been working with some of our youth in the area of academia, and so I'm fortunate enough to work with a talented group of kids called the Rising Scholars, and so for the last couple of weekends, we put on this thing called Saturday School, who I believe was started by my good brother Brandon Jackson. Man, shout out to my good brother Brandon Jackson, and so something he started about maybe 12 years, maybe 10 years, 9 years ago, and started out with about maybe 20 kids, and it has grown, and so we were able to work with about maybe over 200 kids, and kids were getting together, preparing for their finals and so forth. So it was dope. It was cool. All right, you all. So I'm here. I'm excited. Make sure you all click the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe. You guys hit the like button on Facebook, and so we can get these analytics up. All right. And also make sure you all go to theakomaportal.com and sign up and be a part of the Akoma family. We got some cool stuff coming down the pipe. All right. What's good, Miss Shayla? Shout out to you. What's good, brother Cut Nitty? What's good with your family? So it's all good. What's up, Sister Vicky? Man, okay, we got family chiming in, you know what I'm saying, on a Friday night. I thought y'all be at the club, you know what I mean? Y'all tuned in on the Akomacast. Yeah. Nah. It's cool. It's good. So anyway, something that I've been sort of dealing with lately. I sort of consider myself not only am I a social scientist, I'm somewhere between a junior historian, a junior economist, as I will call myself. I don't have a PhD in either of those things. I do have a master's in media technology, so I'm sort of a techie as well. And so these are some of the things that are very dear to me in terms of just looking at people, looking at relationships, looking at the usage of technology and its impact on the community and so forth. And so, I'm into those kinds of things, So now I'm just going to just sort of throw this question out here, and I just kind of want to know what do you guys think, and I'll sort of release some of my thoughts on how do I think technology is impacting our families, and so that's what I mean when I say the information age. I mean, I know that there's costs and benefits to being either more informed or having access to more information. But I don't know, I don't know if it's actually all good. I know how we like to sort of look at information and knowledge as being something that's always all good, right? We always want to be more informed. We always want to know what we don't know. We at least we seem to want to do that. But I believe I'm starting to sort of go backwards. I mean, I remember when I was younger, especially in my late teens or early 20s, that's all I wanted to do was just soak up information. In fact, that's what drove me to be a history major. I wanted to find out a lot of things that I wasn't taught in school, and I wanted to find out the answers to those questions. Simply just beginning with myself, where do Black people come from? Like you would think, now we would think that kind of a question may be something that all high schoolers, particularly Black high schoolers, would know, but it's not. Maybe not. For the most part, I think teenagers are for the most part concerned with whatever interest they have in the teenage world. But But yeah, you know, like, so my journey sort of started there. And of course, you know, I've accumulated all kinds of material and books and so forth. I have my own library, etc. And it helped me understand a lot of different things. And it helped me, I think, evolve personally. I think it helped me evolve in a communal sense. And but at the same time, what having that information did was bring about different kinds of conversations. You know, cultural conversations, religious conversations, um, psychological conversations, like why we think, why we do, sociological conversations, why do we behave the way that we behave. And so it brought up some good dialogues. And sometimes, depending on where I was in my development, sometimes I didn't really, I would say, um, give off my opinions in the most productive way. And so now, some 20 years later, I'm just sort of like thinking some of the things that I see myself doing, some of the things that I see by, you know, usage of the internet and so forth, and some of the, you know, just conversations that I've sort of entered in terms of just black, you know, female male relationships, and you know, and just kind of like where we are today. And I don't know, you know, so let me just sort of go into some of these things that I'm talking about. All right, I'm just curious. How many of you? Let me go with let me just go with just simple YouTube surfing, internet surfing, Facebook surfing. Okay, how many of you all have found yourself to spend, like, literally, like, in a given day's time? How many of you all have spent more than a half an hour, like, basically scrolling or browsing Facebook, or browsing YouTube? And that's being very conservative, an hour. I mean, a half an hour. I know sometimes for me, I could like spend like 1 or 2 hours. If you look at the course of a whole day, just like looking for information, sometimes for entertainment purposes, because sometimes I'm not like in knee deep, like research mode. I'm just like basically, really, I've sort of come to the idea that really when you Facebook browsing, you in other people's businesses, and businesses, right? Business, other people's business. And a lot of times that those pieces of so-called information aren't necessarily authentic. And how does it help you anyway? You know, so I don't know, you know, like, I'm just sort of wondering. And sometimes I just wonder, like, man, given that hour or two or whatnot that I've spent online, I could have like put in my business or something like that, or one of my ideas, I could have been like in a book research or something like that. And so that's just on an intellectual tip in terms of like how that time could be better spent. And then sometimes when I'm like browsing and so forth, like, I'm like sometimes looking at things that I really don't have access to. Like, it feels like you have access to it because you can see it, but really you really don't have access to it. And sometimes, honestly, like after too much time, like browsing, I'll actually kind of come away with like a temporary like depression, like, for real. Like, and I don't mean like a deep depression, but I'm just like, I think it's more or less because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, man, I could have better spent that time either doing something a little bit more productive in terms of like going forward in my goals. And 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 that's just sort of talking about, you know, just, you know, what I could do with my time, you know. Just let's sort of go to our like primal urges. All right, let's kind of go there for a second. Okay. It's interesting, just as a man. Okay, I'm just going to throw this out here, and I just want to just sort of hear you know, what you guys just sort of think about this. I don't know, I'm just going to throw this out here, but I find it interesting to either Facebook browse or YouTube browse or you know, any kind of internet browsing, and coming across a track really benefit me. Like it may be like, I don't know, like fake sugar or something. You know what I mean? So like where you get like a, like some sort of a cerebral, I don't know, maybe subliminal excitement, maybe a little bit. But then the truth of it is, it's like that you can't. You have to have a limit, right? Because at some point it's just crazy, and I just sort of see how, like, man, like you just really have to be conscious about how much time you give social media and YouTube and so forth. And I just sort of just beg the question, like just overall, like just in general, like is having access to so much information, is that really beneficial to our families? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just curious to know, like, what your opinion is. Like, is it helpful? Like, does it help you become um, more of a better human being? Does it help you become like more spiritual? Like more humane? Does it help you empathize more? Does it help you become a better person? Um, I don't know. Like maybe sometimes it does. Sometimes, and I don't know. I've gotten to the point now to where, like, I don't even really like watching the news. Like, I really don't, because I don't want to get depressed, right? I don't want to get depressed. And sometimes when I'm like scrolling and looking at different things, especially in regards to like our economic situation, like just going and looking at different things, everything from like some of the challenging statistics doesn't make me feel good. And then on the other side, when I'm like scrolling through a bunch of gurus that claim they have these answers, it doesn't. A lot of times you just feel like it's just garbage. You just feel like it's just garbage. And I'm like, man, I think really in truth, the real technology that we really need to dial into is really our divine technology. It's going back into self. In some cases, closing down this digital technology and really sinking into the technology that brings us closer. One, within ourselves. Two, and I'm saying like maybe meditation. Praying and meditation, visualization. Creating mental sanctuaries, things of that nature. And then just in terms of like just getting more present to like, like, so if you are a husband like I am, okay, like what are we doing to get closer to our other halves? You know what I mean? Like, are we like dialing into them? And that's the thing. Like, I'm like, sometimes I think subliminally, I'll just be like, man, I just need to just shut this down. Let me get off that, and you guys, I'm not all into some of, like the explicit stuff online, but sometimes I do come across explicit stuff online. Let me just, yeah, I'm a man, right? Nothing like crazy, no R. Kelly shit, you know what I mean? Yeah, but I'm saying sometimes like I have to catch myself and be like, click off so I can dial back into like my real relationships, okay? Particularly beginning with my wife, like, right, really dial back into her, and then my children, dialing into them and getting present to them. And so I just beg the question, like, like, is like I don't know, like, is the information age, is it actually helping, or is it killing the Black family? I'm starting to see a lot of alternative arrangements to how relationships are being carried out now. And I just wonder, like does information, I mean, does being in the information age, be it by usage of your technology, like, I don't know, like, for example, like just sort of watching the youth, like, I don't even think they even date anymore. Like I talk to young people sometimes and they don't even really date anymore. Can you believe that? Like, they really don't really date. And a lot of times they don't really talk to each other. They like do a lot of texting, and they don't really like get present to one another, And so I'm like, how are you going to really find real love? And how are you really going to like build, like a straight up relationship, a real strong, solid relationships, and really find love, like real love, like, if you're so caught up in the digital way of communication and relaying, how you feel or whatnot, and so. And I also think that technology also makes us feel like we have more options than we really have. And so it's almost like illusional. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes us feel like we really have a whole lot more options than we really have. And I think that too can sort of complicate how we feel about like our real relationships. So anyway, I'm just going to just sort of throw that out there, you guys. You guys help me out with that question. Do you think the information age is actually helping the Black family, or is it helping to destroy it? I don't know. Let me know. By the way, please click like and subscribe, and also check out the website. Okay, we actually are in the process of updating it, but still, you can still go there and sign up. Okay, www.theakomacast.com.